Suddhatma Dada Bhagwan Suddhatma Sabdev Dada Bhagwan Suddhatma Sabdev Dada Bhagwan Suddhatma Sabdev Dada Bhagwan Suddhatma Mahavir Bhagwan Suddhatma Mahavir Bhagwan Suddhatma Mahavir Bhagwan Suddhatma Sri Simandar Swami Bhagwan Suddhatma Sri Simandar Swami Bhagwan Suddhatma Sri Simandar Swami Bhagwan Suddhatma Krishna Bhagwan Suddhatma Sri Krishna Bhagwan Suddhatma Sri Krishna Bhagwan Suddhatma Mo Jnana Raju અને આપ મારા સ્વરૂપ સિદ્ધ ભગવાન છું અનંત જ્ઞાન વાળો છું અનંત જ્ઞાન વાળો છું અનંત જ્ઞાન વાળો છું અનંત દર્શન વાળો છું અનંત દર્શન વાળો છું
જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ મહાત્મા
દર્શન વાળો છું
જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ
શક્તિ વાળો છું
Deepakanandji,
જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ
you need to close the other one, Deepakanandji.
અનંત સુખનો ધામ છું અનંત સુખનો ધામ છું અગુરુ લઘુ સ્વભાવ વાળો છું માયા સ્વભાવ સાચી લઘુ સ્વભાવ વાળો છું
Deepakanandji,
માયા લઘુ સ્વભાવ વાળો છું માયા
હજી સંભળાય છે.
ઓકે જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ
જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ.
Can you see mantra, please, everybody follow?
નમો વિતરાગાય
નમો વિતરાગાય
વિતરાગાય
નમો અરિહંતાણમ
નમો અરિહંતાણમ
નમો સિદ્ધાણમ
નમો
નમો સિદ્ધાણમ
નમો આયરિયાણમ
નમો આયરિયાણમ
નમો વત્સાયાણમ
નમો વત્સાયાણમ
નમો લોય સવસાહુણમ
નમો લોય સવ્વ સાહોણમ
એષો પંચનમુક્કારો
એસો પંચનમુક્કારો
સર્વપાપ પ્રણાશનો
સર્વભાવ પ્રણાસનમ
મંગલાણમ ચ સર્વેષાં
મંગલાનાં ચ સર્વેષાં
પરમં હવૈ મંગલમ
પરમં હવૈ મંગલમ.
ઓમ નમો ભગવતે વાસુદેવાય
ઓમ નમો ભગવતે વાસુદેવાય.
ઓમ નમઃ શિવાય
ઓમ નમઃ શિવાય.
જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ
જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ.
Jai Satchidanand Mahatma. Welcome everybody.
જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ.
Last
જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ
week we left it as to review the whole week, our weaknesses on any of the columns. Anybody wants to share any experience? Well, the thinking, I'll start with mine anyway. I had number 7. Sorry, number 8. Number 8, like, and this coincidentally, we are also doing Samahik on hearing. So that's a both, it just worked out pretty good for me. And I must say that it was pretty good. I had refrained many times when I heard something about somebody else and I did not give any reaction on that one. So that was this was a pretty good week on both this hearing and also on Avarnavad, Aprad, Abhinay of the living on the non-living or the present or the non-present. So this is pretty good. Any comment on that, Deepakanandji, before people share?
Yes, very much. This number 8 code of conduct is so very easy to break, and it's like it has become kind of our lifestyle, which we just keep doing it all the time. Someone should not be there, and we start talking about that person. Even when the person has passed away, we don't hesitate to talk about that person, and most of the time, we talk negative about people, and we don't know that how it affects our present life and our happiness at hand now itself. Because anything anything negative that I utter for anyone, however, it is as per science, that is spiritual science or science of liberation. Our speech itself is tape record, which Dada Bhagwan has so uh, gracefully revealed to all of us. But then the story doesn't end there. It means we must remain very vigilant on what is being spoken. And here itself comes the all days meditation, samayik, that we remain vigilant on what is being spoken, and it's only from here to here only that we have to listen to what is being spoken by our tape record. And when I say our tape record, means the name bearer's tape record. Soul doesn't have body, soul doesn't have speech. So it is name bearer's tape record. And it becomes our duty to fix the name bearer, and especially the tape record. The reason being the leakage, the power of pure soul gets leaked through words, that is through speech. And if we don't remain vigilant on speech, then it is a direct attack on our pure soul power, pure soul strength. So, and when the soul gets attacked, what it means, our bliss, our happiness immediately gets compromised. So here, if we are, rather not if, we are all concerned about our happiness, our all-time happiness, our permanent happiness, but unfortunately, we are not all that vigilant about what is being spoken. So, contemplation and meditating on the 8th code of conduct repeatedly will make us vigilant about what is being spoken, and we will start correcting the mistakes that are being committed at the level of our speech. And that is very important, because it is said that one's state of being or one's state of experience is measured by through his words, what is being spoken. And here we must remain very vigilant on what is being spoken. So the purpose of the 8th code of conduct is remain vigilant on our own words, tape record. And Dada has said he remains so much vigilant that the moment he has to open his mouth, his full focus would be on his speech, what is being spoken, and every word which was spoken negatively, he never missed correcting them. And he said that through such long-term correction from generations, his speech has become almost uh, similar to the speech of the absolutes, that is Syadwad, that is 100% amicable, 100% non-violent. And that is our goal, because that only will make us, or that will open our blissful state. Jai Sachidanand.
Yeah, one thing, which I have not worked very hard on in diligence is listening to my own speech. How
Please
do
come
you
again.
go listen
Please
to
come
my
again.
own? Can you hear me?
Some echo sound is coming. It's not coming all that clear. I think so. Does everyone also hear the same way? Okay, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
See, your microphone is here on the wire. Did you bring it up little?
No, mine is
Your
not.
wire.
Mine is on the phone. Yeah. I
Okay,
don't have
fine.
mic.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
okay.
now can you hear me?
Yes, better.
Okay, I had to. There was I had to change something. Okay, so the art of listening to my own speech, I have not mastered that, or that is not really consciously I'm doing it. How can I improve on that?
One thing, as per our very common practice, I will say, we are more focused on talking rather than listening.
Right.
And we want to make others listen to what we say. That is the biggest tragedy. But when we listen to Dada saying that, what is the source of knowledge? One primary source of knowledge is the speech of the Absolute or the enlightened soul, like Dada Bhagwan. And other is, which is called Shrut Gnan. Shrut Gnan is knowledge that is acquired through listening. And the highest, ultimate, and the minutest knowledge, what you acquire, is through your own speech. Having heard and having known and having understood the level of perfect speech, what Dada has said as Syadwad, we immediately would know when we start listening to our own speech. So ultimately, our own speech becomes Shrut Gnan for us. And the whole process of self-cleansing and liberation is to focus on our own mind, speech, body, specifically on speech. And when that focus is there, so then you will start listening to your own speech, to your own words being spoken. So no matter where you are, what you are, in what circumstances you are, your primary focus will naturally be on what is being spoken by your tape record. And
Yeah,
when
but
that conviction is there, then it becomes a very easy task.
Yeah, but see what's happened. Now you're talking, right? Right? So my mind is churning about the knowledge I'm getting, right? And then the other mind starts saying, oh, this and that, and then a question arises. So total listening is
True.
not there. And then
True. But
when
gradually,
you're not, I don't know when you'll stop. So I want to put my question before I forget. So that is
that's fine. That's fine. But our capacity is very vast. On one side, we are listening also. On the other side, you have some questions going on in your mind. Then you can continue listening and jot it down what you want to ask.
Jot it down. Yeah.
That you can always do, which I do, which I also do, especially when I'm conversing and I have to interact that way. Then I always keep my diary handy with me and pen with me, or paper and pen. So that is the thing. But mainly, the way, the value and importance of Shruta Gnan, that is knowledge received through hearing, is said and given. We have to learn to listen to our own speech, because that is going to give you the ultimate and final state of your own being, which gets expressed, because state of being, like our speech, is expression of our ego.
Right. How did you start
Come again,
this
please.
process? How did you start this process?
You start walking, so you start going. So the moment you decide, it will happen. Meaning it will start happening. It's like the moment you turn on the switch, the light or fan gets on. Same way, you turn on your switch that I want to listen to myself, and then that vigilance, that focus will naturally be on what is being spoken.
Okay, I have to ask Dadaji about
That
this.
will happen. You can practice. You can experiment that. It's a wonderful.
Yeah.
Our body is live, living science. Dada Bhagwan has so nicely revealed, and we have to keep experimenting all these small ones and keep learning.
Yeah, because you are right. I have to ask Dadaji about the strength to do that. Correct. We tell that every time, everybody, but you don't practice yourself. Yeah.
Oh, and also one more thing, this conviction, to arrive at such strong and firm conviction, is not one-time procedure. It's an ongoing procedure. It's an ongoing process, and gradually, your focus converges, and then it becomes only one dot. That's it. Period. And if you really notice that, Dada or any Tirthankara never spoke with anyone. They spoke with their own self. That is, the speech that came out, they heard what was being spoken. Instrumental cause was someone who asked them, but their focus was always on what was being spoken from here itself. That's why they say they never talked with anyone. They never interacted with anyone. Although outside, dramatically, anybody could see and say that, oh, Dada talked with so many people. But no, in that whole process, his inner interaction was with his own speech, what was being spoken. He remained very vigilant on all the words that were being spoken, and he never missed even a single word that was misspelled or misspoken, hurting anyone, or which was inappropriate in the prevalent situation. And that was what made him so perfect. And in fact, that was a measure of his identity, being a fully enlightened soul.
Yes. Okay, very good.
Yeah.
Okay, Keshav bhai.
Jai Sachidanand, everyone. Rajniji,
Jai Sachidanand.
First of all, I've been listening to this series, and regarding to this, I have one or two questions, then one experience. This Syadwad Vani, you said, so you said Dadaji almost had Syadwad Vani, is it right? This is one I want to know. You also said before, Aptaputra also said before that if someone tries, then they can become like Dadaji, their Vani, etc. So my question is, has anyone become Syadwad? Means my purpose is because if we can, because if what we remember, that we become like that. So what we think, we become like that. So if there are other people who have more advanced Vani, like Dadaji, so is that.
Okay, if you want to know that, then every Mahatma's process of becoming that state of Syadwad has started.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Every Mahatma, even you. But we understand that our Syadwad, when it reaches that level, it is Syadwad. No, from the time your inner decision comes that my speech should become Syadwad, you have started walking on that road. The finality is ultimate. Do you understand, doctor?
Yeah, but see, there is in the Charan Vidhi also they said that may their outstanding virtues and attributes dwell in me, helping me to reach my firm resolve to attain oneness with Shuddhatma and to attain the same virtue, outstanding of attributes they possess. So means this shows that we are getting inspired by other Mahatmas, and this clearly says,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
So
why we must interact with Mahatmas all the time. As far as possible, the maximum you interact, the maximum you come to know your mistakes, because their reference is the ideal reference, because they have realized that self and they are into the process of self-cleansing and self-liberation.
so means the thing is that we can learn from successes and even failures, So means in Syad, for
Failure is the
example,
best teacher.
yes. So
Failure is the best teacher.
So if you can like give more examples, like not about others, but for yourself, that Syadwad, what is the Syadwad which you have achieved and which you have yet to achieve? So we can learn from that, and get inspired from that,
No, it is like as much one has reached that state of perfection, you will get benefited when you come into that person's interaction naturally. Naturally.
Can you give some
Because one's
examples?
experience, he doesn't get expressed by his will. State of being get expressed by what that person is,
Can you give
not
examples
through any of his
of,
expression.
can you give your own example that about,
But that's what I'm saying. I can talk, I talk nicely. But when people deal with me, they come to know my true nature, or they get to know, they get the feel of the right. I mean, at that time, they get the feel of my true nature. How much I have reached, how much I get irritated, how much I get disturbed. All those things will come naturally. In my state, every Mahatma's inner state of experience has opened, but it is in percentage. It's like if the circle is of 360 degree, someone's 25 degrees open, someone 45 degrees open, someone 10 degrees open, someone 230 degrees open. So when all those experience we get it, then it becomes full circle. So it's like we are getting dots everywhere. And when all the dots get connected, it becomes full circle. So for Dada, it was almost like a circle.
Okay.
Understand?
And
So it's like none of the Vyavhar would irritate him. Certain aspect of Vyavhar that is our dealing, we will get irritated because we have yet to understand and overcome our weakness from that respect. Do you understand?
Yes, and another thing we in Pratikraman Vidhi and other vidhis we say Dada Bhagwan ki Sakshi, Dada Bhagwan is Sakshi, witness to Dada Bhagwan. So we use Dada
Yes,
Bhagwan.
witness, because that is the example of perfect example of perfection. Ideal example of perfection.
Connect with the souls of others, so connect with other beings, so the thing is here that before a few years means I had this problem, that following what Aputras and they said, but since 2018 I got this link that I more and more I was exposed to Dadaji's Vani, So after listening to Dadaji's Vani, it is that is why it is called 11th wonder, So after that, I got energy, and before I was not able to follow what Aputras are saying, but now little bit I'm able to more follow what Aputras are saying, and like for example, the Nimeshanandji, he said about this Kalam, that for to put it personally also, that
putting your own name or on the person's name.
Person name and putting the Charan Vidhi, So I do that, and when before it has helped me that whenever I think about that person, negative thought will come, but as soon as that it will say, oh, you have abhav for that person, So that realization comes, So then I say, no, this is not right. For example, I have said that you have to do some speech mistake is there, So I didn't speak properly with that person, so that is not right. So that awareness, because I practice with that person, and that comes, and also because I'm not able to be perfect in that. So when I say that sentences, then also I realize that, oh, if it was really it really would have been like this, then it would have been very good, So we would be so much advanced, developed, So it gives a good feeling. So that is what my experience is from Nimeshanandji. He said, so I do that.
Very true. Very true. So actually, it's like, when you listen to others and others' experience, you are using a strainer in your own life and in your own dealing. So how you put strainer and you strain the tea and get rid of uh, the tea leaves and enjoy the tea. Same way, listening to other people, what it opens or it improves your awareness and vigilance on what is being spoken by you, and you get to know and understand and realize, oh man, these are the words being spoken, and that's how you will correct it right away. And gradually, that's how we improve ourselves. So that's right, absolutely.
But the biggest thing when benefit for me is that I always listen to Dadaji's Vani, so and get energy from that, because before also I used to feel like I couldn't even do Pratikraman, I have so lack of energy, So means inside I feel that I don't not willing to do anything, Even Pratikraman I was not able to do. So then I saw I was so extremely frustrated, so I'm not able to do even Pratikraman. So, but then after listening to Dadaji Vani, then I get energy physically, and so otherwise, then I'm able to follow the what Aputtas and saying, and Mahatmas. So I'm able to follow that. That is my experience.
Actually, you know what has happened?
Yes.
When you listen to Dada Bhagwan, your conviction becomes strong and firm that I must do pratikrama. And when that decision is arrived at, then your pratikrama will start.
But
You understand?
but if you see when you listen to Dadaji's Vani, so even your pulse and everything is changing, you know.
Obviously, because that money's level is totally different. Syadwad is what? We don't know how it will work, but our experience would definitely say that yes, that's how everything cools down.
Yes, everything goes down. And it gives energy, you know, that is energizing.
Totally egoless, opinion-free, ownership-free speech. There's no way we can compare with anyone. And we don't even know how it's Tirthankar Bhagwan's speech. But this is the living example we have live,
Yeah,
and it's good
one
that
thing
it's all recorded and we have its original speech. At least
we have
those
recording of
vibrations are there.
we have recording of that. This is the first time in history which we have recording of someone, you know, and this is a real treasure, I feel.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. And you know that level of flawlessness, if you see, Dada said that nobody can pinpoint any mistake in what he has said.
Mm. Even
Pulinanandji can throw more light on
before,
that.
before they were, you were giving a little bit, I don't know, Aputaji was giving some, words along with the audio which you are sending. If it would be very good if you can continue.
Come again. What is it?
When you send audio in the WhatsApp, there were words, you know, some words written with, some from the audio, you know. So it would be very good if it can continue with what you did before, you know. Means
I
the
didn't
audio,
get the audio words.
when you send the audio in the WhatsApp, you know, along with that, you send words, you know, these words, you know, some words you note down from the audio, or some words, you know.
Points, striking points.
Yeah. So that helps, you know, for
The one who is sending, he has to do some homework and do it. But I believe they do put some words.
you
May not
can.
in too much in detail, but the gist of the clip, they definitely write it.
Any Miss Mahatmas and Aptaputras, I would request to do this, you know. So I mean, take up on them, you know. So it is.
Yeah, definitely. We'll also convey. Sure, yes.
Continue what it really helps, you know. So to
No,
more
I understand that. That's true. Very true.
grasp what Dadaji is saying, you know, what he wanted to convey.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, Sachit.
Hi, Sachar. Pulinanandji, you want to add something?
Yes,
Actually,
yes.
I'm sorry, I
Sachin.
joined late, so
Okay,
uh,
we'll
I
go to Lalita Ben and then you can say, okay. Lalita Ben?
I just wanted to share something about interacting with Mahatmas. We one of the Guru Purnimas we had in Oak Ridge, one of the priests from Pittsburgh Temple had come, and he just observed how the Guru Purnima was conducted and the Guru Pujan was done, and everybody. He said there was no jostling for, being the first to do it or nothing. He was just so taken aback, and people were not into it for photo ops or shaking hands or prominence. And this was his observation, because and any other Laukik gathering, the main players always in the forefront, always there for all the pictures and stuff like that. And he said, you all were just, Sahaj was the word he used. He told Radhe this, he was the priest. And I just wanted to bring that up and say that interaction with Mahatma is a different experience versus, interacting with the world. So, Dr. Kashyap, if you get a chance, you should go to Guru Purnima in Surat or wherever they're holding it this year in India. Or you're welcome to come to the States. that was one. The other thing I wanted to say, Deepakanandji and Pulinanandji, was that, I had surgery almost 2 weeks ago, and I was recalling Dada's experience of having had a fractured leg, and people went to condole him, and he said, what's the problem? That I'm healing now. The pain was when it broke. And, that was his purusha. And, like I said, I'm almost 2 weeks into post-op recovery. I'm doing well for the most part, but when the pain hits, it's hard for me to think that, that I'm healing. It just takes me by surprise. So what's your advice to me for that?
Hey, Pulinanandji, you want to say some comment?
The voice was breaking a bit, but if I have understood right, she is down, Lalita Ben is down with fracture, and then she was recalling Dada's experience and that how Dada would remain separate.
Correct.
And you are also undergoing that, but occasionally when you have severe pain, you have difficulties managing that. Am I right?
Yes, I'm difficulty separating from the pain.
And then that will happen. That will happen because the intensity of pain is higher, na?
Mhm.
So, but then you have to just do the Purusharth of હું આવ્યા બાદ સ્વરૂપ છું or હું શક્તિ વાળો
Vanan
છું.
Shakti also.
So that is the answer for us in this state of being for us. Because
Okay.
and basically it's diverting ourselves from the pain towards the soul. Otherwise, we get engrossed in the pain or in the body. If we get engrossed in the body, obviously the pain affects us. So when we say "હું અનંત શક્તિ વાળો છું," so we are moving away from the body to the soul.
Correct.
Our attention is going out. So that is the way of managing the pain for the moment, because we have not reached that height or that state of heightened separateness.
Correct.
Dada Bhagwan was in a very heightened state of separateness, and his discharge ego was also nullified or exhausted to a very large extent. So the suffering of the pain also is not there. And the observer status remains. Okay. Dada says we know or we observe the pain, we don't experience the pain. અમે વેદનાને જાણીએ, અમે વેદનાને ભોગવીએ નહીં. We observe
that is amazing.
that it can happen. I mean, see, for the small bodily pains, to an extent we can also manage it, na? Okay, we can see that okay, it's happening to the body and not to me. For the low intensity pains, I'm saying. So because our discharge ego is still not exhausted or diminished. So as that happens gradually, and we in our state of separateness, that is separate from the body, I am the pure soul, I am not the body, that heightened state of jagrati or awareness, as it increases, we will also come in that level where we will be able to manage higher intensity of pains. That is, we'll be able to remain separate in those cases. Till that time, we have to do the Purusharth of remaining separate by saying હું આવ્યા બાદ સ્વરૂપ છું, અનંત શક્તિ વાળો છું. So that is the Purusharth of remaining separate now, and then by default it will happen. And if someone says, how are you? Then I'm fine. Lalita is having this much. I'm fine. File number 1 is having this much, whatever, that pain or whatever, not feeling well or not feeling comfortable. So that is another way of expressing separateness. You may not be, but by saying so, words do have an effect, Words have an effect. Oh, I am suffering, so then that word has an effect on us. But if you say, no, this Lalita is suffering, or file number 1 is suffering, then that has an effect also.
Correct.
So these are 2 Purusharths which we can do in our intermediate state as Mahatmas now. And the third thing is to obviously to tell the intellect that this will also pass away. All circumstances are of parting nature. So this accident, fracture, pain, this also will heal and gradually go away after a few weeks. So that builds up an endurance capacity, the capacity to endure the pain and move along with whatever handicap we are within in terms of doing our household chores or other activities.
Correct.
So once that is at peace, the intellect is at peace, So that will also help a bit. And then then the fourth thing is maybe talking to file number 1, Lalita Ben, and that, okay, take it easy. This will also go away. Be
No,
happy.
I'm doing pretty good most of the time. It's like a spasm, muscle spasm, just kind of makes me catch my breath. But I'm recovering well.
See,
The one more thing I wanted to ask before I sign off is, and Dada calls it a science. Both of you are engineers, so I'll address it to you. Does it mean that matter has to follow the laws of science? Because Atma is not held by any of these scientific laws. So when Dada says it, this is a science, you can experiment and you can validate this. The only thing I can think of is, at my level of understanding, is that matter is what has to follow the laws of science. If it's a charged particle, it has to discharge it. If it is, in whatever way, like solid, liquid, air, it all has to follow those laws. So is that why he calls it a science?
Basically, what he's trying to tell is that religion is not just dogmas and things that your spiritual masters have said to you and passing down from generations. Because Gita said this, because Krishna Bhagwan said this, because my grandfather did, my father did, so I have to do. So from that means not to take things at face value, but the whole world is operating on a very scientific basis. Science, because it is just interplay of 6 eternal elements.
Correct.
Yeah. So he's trying to express or share with the world that this entire world, universe, all living organisms, all living beings are operating very scientifically. And scientific in the sense, as the cause, so will be the effect. So it is interplay of 6 eternal elements. Basically, whatever causes are generated, effects will play out. And as you said, essentially it is 2 elements at play, Atma and matter.
Matter.
And because of that, the third Vishesh Bhava, the special thing that the ego has risen up. It's the ego then who is charging the karmas. And because of that, he gets the various life forms, human, heaven, hell, like that, animal. So Dada says that there is no upper, someone up above who is managing your life or destiny. It is you who is managing your life and destiny by your causes, and so will get effects. And now in the effects, if you are not able to bear them or not able in unfavorable circumstances, then what should be the scientific causes you should do to eliminate them? So this is at the body level. And then he says that everyone is seeking permanent happiness. So where that permanent happiness is, you are lost in the I and the body self associate. So please come back to the I, the true I, the pure soul. So and then he also calls this science because in a scientific manner, he has changed our blunder or wrong belief that I am name bearer. So by his grace, when that belief changes, the new karma stops cease forming, and you can get gradually exhausted. So he has shown the scientific process of getting freed from the karmas, a scientific process of attaining salvation, a scientific process of the inner happiness that is within us. And then and then on at the worldly level, if you don't get along with people, then the concept of pratikrama, the concept of bhogvedeni bhul, that you are responsible for the miseries happening to you, which the world outside feel you. Either they say the other person has made my life misery, or God is unhappy with me.
Correct.
So those are not true. Scientifically, it is you who has laid your causes, and you are the ones who are suffering the effects. So he's trying to explain science from that point of view.
Okay.
The science, the basically interplay of 6 elements, cause and effect, and how you are the generators of your happiness and misery both, and how you can come back to your permanent happiness state. So and that is the vision of all divine masters. Lord Mahavir, Lord Krishna, everybody. So he's just trying to, basically, he's trying to unveil the same vision which they had in the fifth era or in the present times, where it's very difficult to understand all these things. In a very low layman's language, he has tried to put the entire science, what Krishna Bhagwan told to Arjuna, Lord Mahavir told to his followers, say 2600 years ago or 5000 years ago. So that's the concept of science, its cause and effect, and who is responsible for all the things happening to you. Where is permanent happiness? What is God? This is the concept of God also. He has defined God very well, you see. People just take the idol as the God or this thing, He says, no, God resides in every living creature, visible organism, you see.
Right.
Really, what is God? The God is the pure
I've
soul.
heard him say that so many times, In Satsang, he said, God का address बताओ मुझे, मुझको चिट्ठी लिखना है.
So he says, God is also within you, and you yourself are God. You see?
Correct.
So the concept of God also he has clarified very well. So all this is, so basically, he has expounded the eternal truths in a very scientific manner. So he calls it as a science.
Okay.
And then he has bifurcated that there are two paths to salvation. One is the Kramik Marg, where step by step one goes exhausting his Krodh Man Maya. And one is the Karam Marg, with the grace of a divine master, you can realize your true self and then exhaust the remaining karmas.
Yes.
And the proof of the pudding was, because it is a science, all of us experienced it. Yes, I am pure soul, and soul means this, which can only be experienced. You cannot, with the help of 5 senses, know what is this.
Right.
So he calls it a science. See, there you are. This is your true self. And how so there are many ways of looking at this.
Okay. So it's not just a material science.
It's not the material science. Material plus this. In the material aspect,
It's included in that, but it's a grander vision than that.
He has given a grander vision in a very layman terms.
Correct.
Because ultimately, bottom line is the experiencing bliss that he gave you. Whether you know the eternal truths, whether you know the 6 elements, forget it. You know what is soul, and now just practice 5 agnas and move along. So to all levels of people with various levels of development, from the basic to the very advanced, means people who are more spiritually inclined or have read scriptures and all. For all of them, he has given guidelines and way to progress. So that is what I feel.
Thank you. Jai Sachidanand.
Deepakanandji?
Two levels of science that has revealed. One is between individual, that is interactional. Why? What is the cause of interaction, or what is the cause of give and take between individuals? That is interactional. That is why one prakriti or one putgal, one live matter of another person and one live matter of your own body self interact. Net science he has revealed. And second is the science that is interactional science and intra-science, in the sense within your body self and soul. He has revealed that science. And the ultimate is, and final is, you have no concern with Lalita's body self. Absolutely. Yet, you keep experiencing that. And the purpose or cause of that is your discharge ownership towards Lalita's body self is causing the trouble. And it is like the hangover effect of the past ignorance is making you affect, and feel the pain of Lalita. The purpose is, the idea is, whatever Lalita experiences, that is, whatever Lalita suffers, you are not suffering, because you as pure soul, you never suffer. Yours is extrasensory perception. And what Lalita suffers is five sense perception. Now that five sense perception is not your perception, is Lalita's perception. But when that suffering as karmic effect Lalita passes through, she will speak, I didn't like that, I like that, I suffered and all that. So whenever she says I, then you put Lalita suffered, Lalita liked, Lalita did like. Do you understand?
Yeah, talk of myself in the third person.
That is the first level of separation. Otherwise, in principle, Dada has said, you as pure soul, you have no concern whatsoever with Lalita's body self.
Correct.
Revealed by that word, Tankot Kena. And if you contemplate on that repeatedly, in fact, he has said, when we contemplate qualities of pure soul all through the day, you must say this particular part or particular aspect of pure soul, total separation from the body self through these words, Tankot Kena. Say that 100 times. I have no concern, no relation with the body self of Lalita. Like in the world, everything is happening with so many people. But you say, oh, it happens. But when it happens to any of your relations, then also you say it happens. But what about the close relation? Your children and all that? Then that effect is there. My children. And the highest level of suffering and agony what you pass through is when something happens with Lalita. So that level of separation with the rest of the world is like 100%. You are absolutely indifferent. You are absolutely, balanced with whatever you come to know about them. But when it comes to relations, little is there. When it comes to close relation, blood relations, it is more. And what you come with direct, your own body self, it is highest. And gradually, with this contemplation of this separateness of what or who I am, that experience will open. So it's like, that hangover effect of the past ignorance is making you feel it is happening to you because those words are being spoken. I didn't like it, I liked it.
Yes.
You understand that? But we are not, huh?
I have endorsed that suffering by claiming it as my own, right?
Why your voice is so bad?
You can't hear me? Can you not hear me?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm reaffirming what you said, that I'm endorsing identity with the body self. That is why I'm feeling.
You are what? Identifying?
With the body pain, with the body self.
Endorsing.
That endorsement is not there. They're just words. But the connectivity and stickiness with the words is so much that you're not able to understand that separateness. So over and above, you have to go and use these separation words so that that effect will get balanced or nullified. Everywhere you say, I didn't like, I passed through this, I got operated. You say, Lalita got operated. So I'm in deep pain. I don't like this. Lalita is in deep pain. Lalita doesn't like it. So immediately when you change this reference by attributing it to Lalita, 95% or 98% that suffering will come out of it so very easily. But that needs to be contemplated. So it's like, you know what Professor B.F. Skinner has said on psychology, that we all are so badly, radically conditioned ourselves. And whatever suffering or agony we pass through in our life circumstances is because of this radical conditioning of mindness. And the moment you recondition them with right perception, that effect will go down. So that balancing part we have yet to do. With Dada said, I did all my several lives, and now I have come out with total experience of separation. I have no ownership whatsoever. That's why when he said, when he got realized, he destroyed all ownership we had with A.M. Patel. And that's how he became World Observatory. Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand. Our time is almost up. So, Pulinanandji, Deepakanandji, any suggestion for next week? We didn't have too much comments on the weaknesses of Kalams. So, do we want to practice one?
Frankly saying, I believe we have to do a lot of introspection, because 8th and 9th Kalam are such, we always compromise that Kalam, we always break that Kalam. We must come across someone and we start talking about the third person. And we see people at fault. Seeing people at fault, not seeing them innocent, itself is doing a lot of negativity to your own self, whereas we say, I want to become instrument for the welfare of the world, which I say, but I'm totally living against that principle. So we need a lot of vigilance, observation, retrospection, and correction. So I believe that that's a very vast subject, and we keep passing through those circumstances. So I believe let's have more vigilance and retrospect on that, and I feel definitely will come. At least one more week we should do. What do you think, Pulinanandji?
Yeah, we can keep all the 9 columns introspect, and anyone can share whatever they feel. Success story or failure story, both.
Yes, that's true.
Where we have succeeded, where we have failed, and we have, on hindsight, recovered with help of awareness that, oh, I did this mistake. And then what could be done to, so that next time it doesn't happen. We could have all the 9 columns and just success and failure stories both.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Hope everybody's okay with that. And with that, Pulinanandji, can you do 3 mantra? Everybody please follow.
Namo Vitragai.
Namo
Vitragai.
Namo Rihantanam.
Namo
Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Vajjayanam.
Namo Vasayanam.
Namo Loe Sauva Sahunam.
Namo Rove Savva Sahunam.
Aso Panchana Mukkaro.
eso panchamakaro
karo
Sarvabhavapanasano
sabhavapanashanam
Manglanancha Savresim
Mangalanancha savesam
Kadamam Havai Mangalam.
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om
Namo
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah
Namah
Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute, quick. I'll just put one Kavida pad. He says, he's talked about Dada. His eyes speak and his speech touches our heart. And if someone sees him, I mean his body self, person gets freed from death. He is free from birth and death. He's installed and well fixed in his pure soul state. And ultimate state of compassion is there in our world, in our India. And this last line, the last line, is very important. Please look out for all who have received this divine knowledge, self-knowledge from Dada Bhagwan, and worship them with total dedication. So it remains that how important every living Mahatma is, because that Mahatma is a living torch or living light of Dada Bhagwan. So interacting with Mahatma, how important it is, because everyone have this experience, part experience, and when that all these parts you acquire them or you get them, then you become complete. Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai
Jai
Satchidanand.
Satchidanand,
Jai
Deepakanandji,
Bhagwan
Pulinanandji,
Mahatma.
Jai
Jai
Satchidanand,
Satchidanand.
all the
Satchidanand
masters,
Mahatma.
Jai
Jai
Satchidanand.
Satchidanand Lalita Ben,
Jai
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 Satchidanand
Satchidanand.
Mitchell, Jai
Satchidanand.
Sailia Ben,
Jai
Jai
Satchidanand.
Satchidanand Rani, waiting for
Jai
your question and
Satchidanand.
Jai
interaction.
Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.